Good evening, everybody. It's Sunday night. It's 9 o'clock. It, of course, is the Magpie Movies movie stream every fortnight at 9 o'clock. Different guest every week, and that's no exception this week. And I hope everybody is well. Little plug for my friend Evander over at Slay Reviews. He's currently, I don't know, last time I was looking, he was interviewing one of the stars of Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey. So if you're watching this, that's not me telling you to go over to watch that. That's kind of losing a lot of viewers. But yes, anyway, go and watch Evander's interview with the actress from Blood and Honey. But yes, regardless of that, welcome back, everybody. Thanks for joining us. As I said, another episode in the live streams for myself. This week's guest is a new guest, someone I've never ever had the pleasure to have on the stream before. Also, somebody I've never actually spoken to before until I sent him an invite, and he's more than happy to come on. Also, someone I've never spoken to somebody from Scotland before, as in like on the stream. Obviously, I spoke to Durant over in America and the guys in the UK, well, UK, but England. Yeah, I'm just babbling here. I'm just going to bring him on. Sorry, Jack. So here we go, everybody. This is Jack just bubbling on. I'm trying to. I've never spoken to someone from Scotland before, but here he is with the worst possible Scottish accent ever. But yes, this is Jack. This is Bring Your Own Popcorn.
Hello.
Welcome to the fortnightly live stream. Thank you for accepting the invite to come on.
Thank you for having me on.
And there's no need, not that you will be, to be like a sheep in headlights, because although I'll let you into a secret, everybody who's watching. We had a little chat before we went live, and I said, you know, Jack and I be different generations of like movies and everything. And I said, oh, what, you're in your early 20s or something? And obviously Jack's told me you are
19.
Yeah. So I said to him straight away, this is not grooming. I don't want to, you're not going to slip into your DMs or anything like that after the show. It's purely just going to be talking about film. But at the same time, as we were quickly saying there, my knowledge of film will be different to your knowledge of film, and your likings and genres that you like or prefer will, of course, be different to mine. We may agree on stuff, but that's the best thing about differences with ages is you've got a different view on everything.
Yeah,
you know. So films I would have experienced firsthand when they first came out and released, you will be getting to an age like now where you're getting into film, getting into media, where you'll think, oh, well, that's a good film, I wish I saw it at the cinema, or I wish I'd been in the movie, or whatever. Or it might be a first time watch. But yeah, that's what I like, is about, same in all the film communities, is everyone has a different opinion on movies. You know, it's not always going to be you love it or you hate it. Some people might agree.
Yep.
But yes, so how, so talk people through, because obviously you mentioned there before about you finished your YouTube, or you had an older YouTube channel and you changed it. So what was the older channel then?
So I had an old channel, which it was originally from, like, I used to work on short films and stuff with my friends and just upload them for fun. And basically I ended up turning that into movie reviews. And it ended up being kind of every film that I was watching, I was reviewing on there. Whereas now I've got a Letterboxd account. Every film that I watch, I log on Letterboxd. I only review things on channel I want to review, really. Whereas this old channel, I was reviewing literally every film under the sun.
Yeah.
It just became no longer fun. I wasn't having a fun time editing them, wasn't having a fun time making them. So I decided to kind of start afresh with a new channel, kind of get it. I knew this community was a thing, so I joined the community. And yeah, I've just been having a much better time with this channel because I just actually like the content that I'm making. So that's always good.
Well, that's it. As I said to you before, the previous live streams I did, I mean, I'm happy to share that with people who are watching. The previous live streams I did, I enjoyed them with the people I did them with.
Yeah.
But it was a case of I got to a Sunday night, because there's always been Sunday at 9. Because I was like, for me, I was always looking, right, who's doing live stream here, who's doing live stream there. I don't want to kind of like overlap as such and do it at the same time as anybody else. And that's not what I wanted to do, to go, oh, mine's better than yours or whatever like that. So when I first started them, I was like, no one's doing one at 9 o'clock on a Sunday. I'll do it at 9 o'clock on a Sunday. And look, everybody, you know, and everybody wanted to come on, and it was great. But then I got to a stage where I think stuff was happening in my personal life with the kids. And it, like I said to you before, it became a chore. And it became, I lost interest in wanting to do it. Like I said to you, it was like, although you enjoy work, you still don't look forward to going to work on a Monday. But once in a while, you enjoy it, but it's the actual getting there. So that's why, so like you, I took a step back with regards to doing the live streams, because I was enjoying them, but I got to a stage where you've got to take that break, because I always said if I'm going to do YouTube, I'll do it, and I'll do things for films that I love, things I like doing, like unboxings, buying stuff, reviews, or what I've been doing, and then now and again putting an occasional vlog in there if I go away with the family. But if I don't enjoy doing stuff, then I'll stop doing it, and I'll take that break, and then I'll take a step back, which is obviously what you've done, and then you've had to think about it, and then you come back and went, you know what, I'm going to do these unboxings, and I'm going to do reviews of the films that, like, for example, a film comes out Friday, quick, I need to see it and put a review out.
Yeah.
It's the same, like I said earlier, a film comes out on a Monday, quick, I've got to buy it to show everybody I bought it. But then you won't watch it like a year down the line.
Aye, yeah. It's much more relaxed what I'm doing now. It's just take it easy, do what I want to do. Because if you're having fun making it, people will have fun watching it, kind of thing.
Exactly. Because you show the passion, and that passion will come across. Not just like, and here's another beer I've had tonight by Brewdog. This is Lost Lager. Go and buy it. Whatever. Whereas nobody be like, oh, guys, you know what? I've just had this Brewdog. I really enjoy it. The box in it comes in. It's got great art. It has a nice taste. So that he shows the passion for it, as opposed to it. And that's the difference. It's the same, like I said before. I used to pre-order a lot of HMV. I used to pre-order a lot of like Zavi. And then obviously the money situation changed. The wife was angry with them all coming in the post. And I changed that.
Yeah.
Because I also got to a stage where, as I said earlier, they were coming on a Monday or a Tuesday or a Saturday, depending on whatever the date they arrived. And then they'll be put away in the shelf and not to be watched, because it'll be a case of, so at the cinema, great, I've got to pre-order it, it comes in, and you think, oh yeah, but I wanted to watch it at the cinema, I don't think I want to watch it again so soon, and it goes on the shelf. Unless it's something like, I don't know, like if you watch a film so much you enjoyed it, and when it comes, you want to watch it straight away again because you enjoyed it so much, well, yeah, that's fine, but then make the decisions thereon, and then that'll then affect, I mean, I don't know if you follow Jason Brett or whatever, but he's just done an episode, a new video with regards to buying media and your mental health, where it's a case of, are you buying it for the sake of it? Like you're going to, like he said, he goes to a charity shop and he sees one, he's like, right, I've got one DVD, but it's like £5 for £1. And he's like, he feels like he's obliged has to get that, even though he doesn't need it. And you come home and he stockpiles stuff.
Yeah, 100%.
And that's the same with me. It's like, it's gone from, what I kind of do now is I just take like a bulk load of stuff, take it to CX, put it in, get the voucher, and I come home, and then the voucher then sits on the shelf behind me. And honestly, it's on the shelf behind me, but it burns a hole in my pocket because I'm just like, I need to get something. Yeah. So I have had a £38 voucher, not there anymore. I did use it on, but I had it for like a month. But I was just waiting. So I decided, I thought, sod it. So the price came down for Training Day 4K. Now, I love that film. Yeah. But I watched it, funny enough, before I got the 4K release, I'd literally just watched it. So I'm like, I'm not going to get it the day it comes out. Yeah. Because I've literally just watched it. Yeah. I'm only going to get it, put it in and go, 4K looks quite good. Take it out, put it back on the shelf.
Yeah.
So that came out to £15. Well, obviously £16.95 with the postage. So that's leaving me with 18 now. So that 80 now is burning a hole, but I want to get Wakanda Forever. But at the same time, I don't want to play that Russian roulette game with CX, because if I get Wakanda Forever, I want to have it with the slip.
Yeah, 100%.
And although the slip's on the be all and end all, I want the full package, which will be that.
Yeah.
Plus, I'm not the biggest fan of Wakanda Forever, so I'm not that I have to get it. Like Endgame, I had to go and get Endgame. Like Spider-Man No Way Home, I need to get Spider-Man No Way Home. But with the other ones, I'm like, I've took a back seat. I've stopped doing it.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
That's good. When I went to HMV to get Wakanda Forever, in my HMV, they've started doing this weird thing where if it's, I don't know if they do it in your local one, but any 4Ks, they'll just put the slip out. I think it's to stop people from stealing them, basically.
Right.
So the case and disc aren't there. It's just the slip.
Right.
And I couldn't see any, so I went up to the desk and I went, can I get a copy of the new Black Panther film in 4K? And she brought it out without the slip. And I went, have you got one with the slip, please? And she went, I can't find, if you can find me a slip in the shop somewhere, I'll put it on for you. So I was hunting throughout this full HMV.
And was that the one in Glasgow as well?
No, it's in Livingston, which is closer
Okay.
to Bell.
So are you? So for you personally, obviously, don't give out your address, especially if I'm being accused of grooming later on. Do you live in Glasgow then?
I'm kind of in between Glasgow and Edinburgh.
Oh, okay. So is that classed as Livingston then? Is it?
It's the district's West Lothian.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what is it? So is it a Rangers side or a Hibs side or a Hearts side or a Celtic side? What is
The
it?
town that I live in is predominantly Rangers.
Oh, that's disappointing.
But yeah, I'm not a football follower myself, so.
Oh well, that's okay. I've only ever been to. I mean, this is going off tangent. I don't know. I might be repeating myself here, so apologies for people who are watching. I've only ever been to a Celtic game once. Back in, it would have been prior to that. One of my best friends from back home, before I lived in Darlow, lived in Whitley Bay. I grew up there with my mate called Anton, and he was a couple of years younger than me. But his mum and dad were from Glasgow, and his sister was going out with somebody because she was up at Dundee University.
Mhm.
So she'd moved in with him and they were living together and were about to get married or whatever. So we got invited up on the train from Newcastle to Dundee at the same time that Celtic were playing away. Okay. So I went up to Tannadice. So we stayed at theirs and we went to Tannadice and I was in the Celtic away end because my mate's a big Celtic fan. So I was like, oh, well, obviously I'm diehard Newcastle, but I'll always keep an eye on the Celtic scores. Yep. So I went in the away end. It must have been 96, 97. But we were in like the home end. And it was 0-0 in the last minute. A Dundee United player scored, an ex-Rangers player as well. And I remember coming out the steps, and all the Dundee United fans were like throwing bricks at the Celtic buses, and I was just like, "Okay, then, I won't reveal my Celtic shirt. I'll just keep going."
Welcome to Scotland.
Yeah. Oh, welcome to Scotland. Yeah, independence. You can all. I'm not even going to do a voice. It's ridiculous. It's like people trying to do my accent. I can't do it. It's like when I come in, I do my videos and go, Alreeet. Trying to get like when I met Jamie or Paul, Big Paulie, or like anybody to try and do Alreeet, they cannot do it. But I'm trying to teach them, but they go all right, and it's like.
When I do YouTube videos and do live streams, I try and anglify myself as much as possible because I don't actually talk as clear as I'm talking now. But it's just so everyone understands what I'm saying because I've got a bit more of a thick accent than I do on my videos.
No, I get that because I remember when I went to uni, I went to Leeds University, but it was based in Barnsley in South Yorkshire. So I went there for 3 years. So I went from like North Shields, Whitley Bay area, Newcastle area, to then going there. But then I talk a lot. I talk quite quick. Even when I work now, I have to slow my voice down.
Yeah.
And then I came back over the summer, and I worked with some lads, like a steel making kind of thing. And obviously you get broader because you're obviously back home. So then I went back after the summer break, and no one could understand me.
Yeah.
So I get it because sometimes even these guys who watch on here. They just are like, Arito, it's the fucking Geordie, man. Here, man. I'm just like, no, it's not Biker Grove. It's not the 90s. We don't speak like that anymore.
Yeah.
But, yes, but I'm sure that, because I've said that, there'll be somebody in the comments now saying it. Okay.
Yeah.
So I'll drop the comments. But yeah, so I'll put on a thing here. The first comment I put, just, hello, everybody. Welcome. Get involved. Drop the questions to me and Jack. So here we go. James straight in. Because I told James you were coming on. He said, oh, he's been on mine a few times. You'll have a good time with him and all that. Because when I have people on I don't know, I just go straight into it. I don't go, you're all right. I don't want to, I'm a bit shy. I don't know who you are, So I just go, I am who I am. Yeah, what you see on the videos, I'm here. You know what I mean? The only difference is obviously we're live and I'm not pre-recorded and I can't edit it.
Yeah.
And of course, at some point, the wife will come in and go, you're shouting. You don't need to shout. And then I'll go, oh, right, okay. Because I was on Thursday, one of the guys in the Movie Chats channel, and she was putting the kids to bed, and I was just like, oh, I'm a bit bored here. And I saw they were live. I just messaged her, can I come on? So she sent us the link, and I went on. And then so I can just, because I'm doing it on the phone like this, and then this little message came down the top, and I went, you're shouting. Like, okay. So I was like, all right, guys, got to speak like this. But anyway, yes. So James is here. So we kind of answered this question before we came live.
Yep.
James is obviously asking, what's your thought on the new Shazam, Fury of the Gods? However, you haven't seen it.
I haven't seen it, no.
No. and we had a discussion before I went live that Shazam, I'm not bothered about going to the cinema to see it. Because I've got the opportunities to do the Flickster app via the PlayStation to watch obviously the movies before they get physically released and all that on the slide, even though I'm doing this live. So take me away, coppers. So Scream's there, Scream 6, but it's a cam copy. But I want a better copy to watch. So if a streaming copy comes up, which is HD 1080p, I'll watch that. But I don't want to watch it if it's a cam. Now with the Shazam one, I'm not that bothered about Shazam. The first one was bang average, wasn't that good. So I thought I still want to see the second one. So I thought I'd give it a go. And then on Friday night, I put it on, and I was just like, you know what? This is actually watchable. You can hear it. There's nobody walking across the screen like you used to get in the old days and everything. So with regards to the question, James, I've started it Friday, finished it tonight. The guy who was recording it stopped it, so I didn't get to see the 2 post-credit scenes. I know they're there. They're on Wikipedia, so I've read them, so I know what's going on with them. I enjoyed it, but as I was saying to Jack before, it's just recycled stuff.
Yeah. So
it's like there's nothing new that's happened there. Do you know what I mean? It's just another Shazam thing. It's a different story, but there's nothing groundbreaking. You know, and I was saying, Jack, that I started watching Infinity War again the other day, and it's like chalk and cheese, black and white between the two of them.
100%.
So Shazam to me was all right. It was enjoyable. 2 hours. If it was that, sat down. I personally would give it something like a 6.5, maybe pushing 7 out of 10 at the very most, but nothing more than that. I think James has seen Shazam, hasn't
he? Yeah, I think so.
Because I haven't watched his review. There's no disrespect to him. I just haven't had a chance. So I don't know what James's view of it is.
I think he has similar thoughts to you. It's average.
There you go. You see. And then we've also got Matt here from Ventures Media. He's asking thoughts on Scream 6. Now, this is the role reversal from the previous question because Jack has seen it and I haven't. So, Jack, you saw it today.
Yes. It was good. It wasn't as good as last year's Scream, I thought. Because I really loved last year's Scream. I love how tongue-in-cheek that the whole franchise is. It's very self-aware. And I thought the last film was very good at doing that. I think this film is slightly running out of ideas with the franchise, but it's still a fun time. It's still really, I'd give it like a 7 out of 10. It was a good film.
Okay, because I know Matt loves it. I think Matt's seen it twice now. Correct me if I'm wrong, Matt. And Matt really loves it. I'm looking forward to seeing it, which is why I said earlier that I didn't really just want to watch a stream of it. I'm going to wait till it's full on. But funny enough, I forgot that Mr. Wick's out on Friday.
Oh, yeah.
And the wife messaged me and she goes, I'm going out on Saturday night. And I'm like, okay. So I'm basically, normally, not that you're interested, but Friday night I put the kids to bed. Saturday night she puts the kids to bed. But I basically said to her, well, if you're going out on Saturday, I'm going to go to cinema on Friday no matter what. Whether my mate Lee wants to come or not, I'll message him. If needs be, I'll go on my own. I want to go and see John Wick 4 because it's that one. I was like, I really want to see it. Although I really want to see Scream 6. John Wick heightens it a little bit more.
Yeah.
Especially with the actor who's just passed away. It'd be nice to go. You know, I wouldn't say I'm gonna be like American and go, yeah, man, thanks, peace. No, I'm not gonna do that. Yeah, let's applaud and shit. But I really want to go and see John Wick because I love all the other ones. My favorite's still the first one, no matter what.
I think I would agree. I think the first one's my favorite as well.
I think 2 and 3 are on par.
Yeah, I think I prefer 3 slightly to 2, but yeah.
I thought 3. You know, at the end when this isn't a spoiler if anybody hasn't seen it. At the end, when they're in the fluorescent kind of, where they're having all the fights.
Yeah.
I thought that went on for too long.
Okay, sure.
That's why I think 2 is that little bit better.
Yeah, that's fine.
But I mean, don't get me wrong. I would never ever diss John Wick. I think all of them are really, really, really good. But like for me, I always go back to the original. It always has to be the first one.
The original's the best. I think I would give the first one a 9, and then the other 2 maybe 8s out of 10.
Yeah, I'd go along with that. Maybe 9, 8, 8.5 around that figure. Yeah, I agree with that. We've got Pete from Playtendo guys here. To be completely the person did not like Stream 6. That's fine. Have I missed? No, I haven't. I'm just making sure I'm missing it. Jamie's here. All right. I'm just going to say, all right, Jamie. He's just put, good evening, Mr. Alreeet. Hope you're well. How was your weekend? fine. Watched the football on Friday night, and they won, so I'm quite happy with that in the last minute, which was even better. And then Saturday, my mum and dad came down, so we went out for a meal because obviously Mother's Day is today. So my mum came down and said, "Oh, well," I said, "Hang on, reboot." I said to the wife earlier in the week, "Why don't if my mum wants to go for a meal, why don't do it on the Saturday?" Which means there's no rushing about on Sunday. Everything will be fine and smooth and chilled out on a Sunday. We'll go for the meal on the Saturday. She's like, "Yeah." And funny enough, my mum texted more or less within an hour and said, "Oh, we're thinking about going for a meal on Saturday instead. Do you fancy that?" I'm just like, "See."
Yeah.
So yeah. So what about your weekend? What have you been up to? Obviously, Scream. I know you went for a meal.
Yeah, I saw Scream. I finished Game of Thrones.
All right.
So yeah, I've now seen every episode of Game of Thrones, and
So this was the first time where you. I mean, obviously you've seen the previous series, but you have literally just finished Game of Thrones today.
Yeah.
For the first time.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
And, I didn't hate the ending as much as some people do. I definitely thought season 8 was the worst season of the show, but I thought it was a very bittersweet ending. I don't know if you have you seen it?
Oh yeah, I love Game of Thrones. Yeah, I it took me ages to get into it. I think I watched season 1, episodes 1 to 3 about 3 times, and I thought, no, Paul, stick with it. And I was in and out of it, and I think I got to the end of season 3. I'm like, right, now I'm into it.
Yeah.
I think I got to the end of season 3, and then after that, and then I watched them all, and then I think I caught up. So then it was on the telly for the season before last, so the penultimate season, and every other one I watched every week. So I've got them all on Blu-ray and all that. I lent them to my mate because he hadn't seen them, so he then blitzed them all as well, and he really likes Game of Thrones as well now. With regards to the last season, the only quirk I got with it, or query I've got with it, it just felt rushed. That's how I would describe it.
Yeah.
That's all. I know obviously there was, at that time, I believe there was a writer's strike and there was a block. So everything had to be put on hiatus and on hold.
Yeah.
But with regards to the show, the whole show from start to finish is absolutely superb. But yeah, it just goes towards the end where you think, well, that was a bit rushed. You could have done a bit more.
There's a lot of build up for the White Walkers, and then they end it all in a single episode. Like it's rushed, definitely. But
I think my favorite part of it is I'm not trying not to spoil it, but when there's a fight, and is it Aya? Is that her name, the little one?
Yeah.
And she runs in, and something happens.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, get in.
Yeah, that was my reaction. It
was awesome. And that for me was just because I think everything was in slow motion with Jon Snow and all that, and then you could see her just running in the background, and I just thought, yeah. But also as well, the most complaint when it first came out was that it was a very dark season, but not dark as in tone, but dark as in color. A lot of people had to turn the brightness up on the TV in order to watch it properly. But I haven't watched it on the Blu-ray since I bought it last season, so I don't know if that makes any difference.
Well, I thought I watched it on the Blu-ray, and I thought it was particularly dark in episode 3. The one where they're fighting the White Walkers. But it wasn't anything unwatchable. It was a bit dark. Like I did turn the brightness up on my TV a little bit, but nothing crazy.
So are you going to be on to House of Dragon next then?
Yeah, 100%.
So are you going to Sky Atlantic? Or is it Sky Atlantic? Or are you going to stream it? Or are you going to buy it? What are you going to do?
I got it. It's somewhere in the collection. I bought it when I realised I was getting towards the end of Game of Thrones. I was just like, I'm going to do the House of Dragon next, so I might as well buy it. So I just bought it. So I'll watch it on Blu-ray.
I believe it's £15 in CX at the moment.
Hello. I'm getting another water from my mum.
Look at that. Oh, mother.
You want to come say hello? No, she says no.
Camera shy. That's fine. Don't worry about it. That's fine. But yeah, another thing as well, which I'm quite jealous of, is somehow you have a projector in your room.
Yeah.
So is there a TV as well, or is it just a projector?
So there's been an update, and if you watch my channel, you'll soon see I'm going to do a updated cinema. It's a cinema room that's up the stairs in the attic, so my room's connected onto it.
Okay.
And my projector went on the blink, and it broke. So we decided we get rid of the projector, and I've now got a TV up there. So
Okay.
there's no projector anymore. But yeah, it's still.
So was that just onto the wall, or did you have like a projecting thingy?
We had the projector screen.
Okay.
Yep.
And was it 1080?
So it was 720.
Right. Okay.
So it wasn't the best quality. And we had it for, I think we had it for 15 years before it started to give up. So we had it for a long time. And yeah, it just finally just gave up. So we decided to get a TV instead. So we've got a 4K TV up there now, and it's I wouldn't go back, to be honest. It's the picture on it's great.
Yeah, I was going to say, because I was thinking about long time into the future, many years, when the children don't live here anymore and we've got more money and more time. I was going to change, because this here is it basically is my room. Not my room, I sound like a child. It's the spare room, which I've made into my room. So we've got a sofa, the bed, because it's like spare room, and then we've got the TV, 3D TV, and then all the movies behind me and everything. This, in theory, is then going to go downstairs, which is the kids' playroom, which used to be the garage. No, I mean, it's got converted. I don't mean I let the kids play in the garage. I don't mean like that. And then I was thinking about like getting subwoofers and getting Dolby Atmos and all that. And the wife said, no. But I'm working on that. And then she wants to make this into my eldest room. But it's weird, because I'm just like, I've kind of made this like a home in here. Yeah. I feel comfortable here, because she knows, like, the missus will be like, what are you doing? I'm like, excuse me, the football's on. So because we've got a Virgin box in here, then I'll just go up here and I'll watch the footy.
Yeah.
Because she'll be like watching Call the Midwife or Corrie. And I'll be like, oh, there's a Champions League game, I'm going to go upstairs and watch it. She's like, all right. So I'll go up here, have a few beers. And at half time, I'll go down and go, you all right? She's like, yeah, great. And I go back upstairs. And then I watch the rest of it, or I watch a movie on a night time or anything. But this is kind of my comfort area. If this TV, I was thinking, like, so going back to the image of things, I wanted to get a projector to go downstairs. But the more I think about it, the more I'm like, you're not going to have a clearer picture as you would if you got a TV.
Yeah, that's true.
And that's why I'm thinking, I don't know.
The whole reason I upgraded to 4K up here was for a similar reason, that my mum and dad are downstairs and they might be watching something that I don't really want to watch. And that's where the only 4K TV was. But so I decided to get one up there. So if I wanted to watch something in 4K, I didn't have to go down and be like, please can I put this on, kind of thing. I could just stick it on up here.
Exactly.
Just easier. They can watch what they want to watch. I can watch what I want to watch, kind of thing.
It's just, I can't. I mean, see, you can't imagine, but I remember when I wanted to go online ages ago, when you were just, what's the expression? Just a twinkle in your father's eye. Like when the internet came in, we had to unplug the phone line. I'm like, can I go on the internet? And Mum, and she'd be like, go on. Are you expecting anybody? No, anybody gonna ring? No, go on then. And you had to plug it in, and do a whole dial up and all that. And now we're talking about watching TV in like separate rooms and everything. You know, you don't know you're born, son. You don't know you're born. Well, obviously you do, because you're alive, but you know what I mean. Right, who else we got? We've got Marvel fans in here. Comes in every week, so hello there. Right, here we go. Here's the alien resurrection lover himself. Now, I'm not going to get into that just yet. We'll get a few comments in, and then we'll go back to that. So that's fine. You guys have John McFall, so we've already covered that one.
Yep.
Jamie saying, hello, everybody. Jack, hi. I have some massive Marvel questions today.
Ooh. Hit me with them.
He hasn't got one yet, unless I haven't got to it. Jamie's put great channel, Jack.
Thank you very much.
He's also put congrats on 900 subs. Thank you very much. Even though it was like 898 or 896 or something, and I was just like, oh, 4 off. And then I got the 900. I woke up, I've got 900. I was like, get in. And I messaged the guys like, hell, I've got 900. Wow. And then I left my phone and I thought, oh, check it before bed. 899. I was like, you bastards.
The same thing happened with me when I hit 300. I put a massive Instagram thing out and a tweet out basically like thanking, because I reached 300 like a couple of days after New Year. So I was like, basically, oh, thank you for all your support over the past year. There's going to be some great content on the channel. And then, like, as soon as I posted it, it went down to 299. And I was like, why?
It happens to me all the time. I'll be like, oh, I've got like, I don't know, we'll just say a random figure, 500 subscribers. I'm like, all right. So I'll record a video, edit it, and I'll put it out there. Boo, live. Boo, you've lost 2 subs. I'm like, I've literally just put that thing out there. I think
Yeah.
YouTube does it and goes, right, let's have a look. Who shouldn't be there? Right, they shouldn't be having those 2. And then just get rid of them. So, yeah. So I'm now on that 900. And I said to the missus, I said, I've always wanted to get 1,000. To be fair, I wanted to get 100, and I was happy with that. Now at 900, I'd like to get 1,000. It's not important, but it's nice when you do a YouTube journey to hit a certain target, and have that little go. You know what? I'm not gonna do it anymore, but at least I hit 1,000 subscribers, and I proved that I can do that. You know, not like 1,000 people are going to watch all at once, which you don't, because you'll have like you've got how many have you got now?
390 something.
So 390, but you know when you do a video, you're not going to have 390 views. So not every single one of those persons is going to watch your videos.
Yeah.
You know? So like, I always think it's going to be about a quarter, around about that figure. So my average is about 200, 170, 200.
Yeah, you're bang on, because I'm 395, I just checked, and I get about 100 to 150 views a video. So you're like...
It's around about that. So yes, that's about it. But yeah, once I hit 1,000, I'll be over the moon. But then I'm not someone who wants, if I get to something like, say, for example, I'm at like 892, I'll be like, oh, I'm 8 off 900 or whatever. If you haven't subscribed, please do. But if I'm like 832, I don't do that because there's nowhere near any kind of landmark.
Yeah.
So when I hit 1,000, I'm going to have a massive, he says, live stream with loads of people coming on. That's what I'd like to do.
Yep.
So by this time next year, I'll be on about 920. So maybe 3-4 years down the line, I don't know. I mean, I'm going to Canada in a couple of months. I was thinking about. No, I haven't told anybody this, so this is an exclusive. I might do a live stream when I'm in Canada.
Sounds good.
And get people on, but obviously we're going to be 5 hours behind. So when I would do a 9 o'clock live stream, it will be actually like 2 o'clock in the afternoon or whatever where I am. But I don't know. It's just an idea. So yes. Anyway. Moving on. What have I got here? Hello, everyone. Art Rich is here. Avenger Media. Scream 6. Disappointing for me, at least. So there you go. See, similar kind of views for you. Magpie the Groomer. Yeah, you see. Oh, Evander's mum's in. Hello. We've got Jack. Here we go. Oh, Matt asking this time. Every question. Do you think Doc Ock really drowned at the end of Spider-Man 2?
Yes.
Yes. I think that is the answer to that is yes as well.
Yep.
Evander nailed it. Yeah, Evander did. Because I was saying before the intro, Evander did an interview with the actress from the new Winnie the Pooh horror film. So I haven't managed to check it out yet. But I knew it was on because when I was putting my eldest to bed, I always keep my phone to my side to kind of entertain myself while she's falling asleep. And I saw he was doing it, but I couldn't do any sound on it. So that's why I want to give a plug at the beginning. So if anybody's watching this, they can then go back and rewatch Evander's thing. So I like to spread the joy as such. All right, what's this? All right, everybody, Magpie Moose here, and today we are grooming. Yeah. The week one, the couple of live streams before this one, I accidentally said that I'm a big fan of rape, which I didn't really mean. It was more that like in a film, it's like I don't like jump out stairs, but I'm not, but I don't mind rape, and I was just And he's also put, well, that felt wrong to type, yeah. And did I watch Local Hero in time for this? No. The only thing about Local Hero that I like is probably the song by Mark Knopfler, because I believe that's what it's from.
Yes, yeah.
And obviously you told me about it. It sounds very similar story to I've forgotten the name of it now. That one with Mark Ruffalo when he goes over and tries to get the oil barons to close down something.
Oh, I know the one you're talking about.
Dark Waters? No.
Yeah, that is it not Dark Waters? I think it might be.
Is that That's how it sounds like, but yeah. So it's a Scottish film, is it?
Yeah, it's a Scottish director, Scottish writer. I think, and it's an American-made film. like
Right.
production wise. But yeah, it's one of my favorites. You have to watch it. It's so good.
Was it an 80s film or 70s?
80, was it 83?
Okay. Yes,
Yeah,
that would have been round about when Dire Straits were at the.
yeah,
I'm guessing, yeah.
yeah.
Interesting. Jack, what are the 6 Infinity Stones called?
This is turning into a quiz. Um, soul. Is there a soul one? Soul, mind, power, time, and then the other two.
I don't know. I mean, I've watched them all the time. I'm not doing like that. So, Marvel fans put Mind, Soul, Reality, Space, Time, Power.
That's them. Yep.
I'm just, you read them out loud and you're like, okay, one to do the mind, one to do the soul, one to do reality, one to do space, power. Power.
Yeah.
Tony from Basic Blues from the States is here. Hello, Tony. That's right, Marvel fan. What are the name of the 3 warriors in Thor?
I don't know.
Are those his mates?
Yeah.
So there's the last. There's Heimdall. Well, but then again, he's not really. Because one of them's a Scottish actor, isn't it?
Yeah.
God.
Yeah, I can't remember a name of any of them.
We've got 2 lads and a lass. There you go.
Yeah. Yeah.
One of them's Scottish in real life.
Yeah.
So sorry, Matt. I don't know that one. What's your thoughts on Good Burger 2 being officially announced at Paramount Plus?
I've not seen Good Burger 1, so not really.
Neither have I. Because I think I could be wrong here again, because it's not my generation, but it could be Keenan and Kel from Nickelodeon. Is that right?
Yeah.
But it's another quick book, though. If they bring another one back.
Say again?
Probably another quick book, a bit like Coming to America.
Oh, yeah.
I still haven't seen that.
Yeah,
I mean, I'm not the biggest fan of the first one. Speaking of which, actually, just quickly coming off that, did you see that HMV are doing a flash 50% sale online?
I didn't.
They are. There's a few on there. I ordered a few, whether they'll come or not. Because it was like, this sounds pathetic, but I really wanted to get Fantasy Island, the Blumhouse one, which everybody hates, but I like that kind of.
Okay.
I like that kind of teen horror kind of escape room type thing. They're not the best, but I enjoy them. And they had When the Crawdads Sing, which I really wanted to watch, and that was down to a £5.
Okay.
And then the Bill and Ted's trilogy was down to a £10. And what else? One called Breaking In, again another Blumhouse. I think it's Blumhouse. Another one, kind of a home invasion kind of thing, which I enjoyed. Yeah. And then X was reduced to a £5, so I hide that in the basket. We'll see what happens. Wasn't a big fan of X, but I'm going to give it another go because I fancy watching Pearl, so I want to rewatch X before I do that.
I quite enjoyed X. Again, I didn't mind it. It was all right.
Yeah, that's exactly how I thought of it. It's a bit like Malignant. I enjoyed it, but I know a lot of people raved on about it. Same with Cruella.
Yeah.
I thought, I enjoyed it, but I'm not going to beat my meat over it. For want of a better phrase, I'm not going to go on and on about how good it is.
Yeah.
Whereas I watched something like All Quiet on the Western Front, and I thoroughly enjoyed that. The same with the Batman. Thoroughly, those to me are like epic movies that when I come out of a film, I want to feel like it's epic.
Yeah.
Like the wife and I started watching Cocaine Bear last night.
Okay.
We must have watched about half an hour of it. And there was like hardly any bear in it. I'm expecting this to be like an hour and a half of this bear high on coke going around everywhere, but it wasn't. And I will, but I think I might try and end watching it tonight. But I think I wanted it to be, because have you seen the Cocaine Bear?
No.
So the beginning features the bear, and because you think it features the bear, then the rest of the film's going to be like, okay, it's straight in your face kind of thing.
Yeah.
But it's not. And I mean, it could be a case because her and I were both tired because after she put the bed to bed, I fell asleep on the sofa. So it could be a case of time. But I mean, we're on here for another 50 minutes, depending whatever's happening. So hopefully if I finish about 10:30, I might bang it on for half an hour, 45 minutes before I go to bed, and just see what it's like.
Yeah, totally.
Right, what else we got in here? I loved Biker Grove. Who can forget that iconic scene when Noddy kissed Gary in the cinema? I can't even remember watching that bit. Did anyone like Scream 6? Well, I know you enjoyed it, but wasn't as good as the last one. I haven't seen it.
Yep.
Ben, haven't seen it. What? What, Matt? What? You haven't seen the Scream movie? What? Oh, dear.
You need to watch the Scream films. So good.
Are you going to watch a new horror that comes out on Friday? Oh, what new horror is out on Friday?
I have no idea. I can't even think of another horror film.
Only one I know is coming out. I'll tell you what. Let me do a quick Google. UK cinema release. What's Friday's date? Is the
24th?
24th, yeah. 24th of March. I haven't seen Creed 3 yet.
Oh, it's so good.
Is it? Is it better than the other two?
I loved it. I absolutely loved it.
Here we go. March 10th, March 17th, March 17th, 24th. Right, what have we got? Right, we've got 80 for Brady. We've got Infinity Pool, which is Brandon Cronenberg's follow-up to... I've forgotten it. What was that one he did with the yellow front cover? Do you know? Remember?
No.
Oh, I remember it. That's another one I watched. I was like, ugh. Everybody said, oh, it's so good. I was like, ugh. Yeah, so Infinity Pool might be. Anything else? Yeah. That Pope's Exorcist with Russell Crowe, I fancy going to see on April 7th.
Yep.
I'm trying to look. Evil Dead Rises April 21st. Guardians is the Galaxy is 5th of May. Little Mermaid. Oh, fuck Little Mermaid. No, thank you. Yeah, that's it. Oh, the new Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse is June 2nd, and then Transformers is June 9th. I do find it to see Transformers. So, yes, there we go. So it must be Infinity Pool, but I can watch that on streaming. It's got Skarsgård, Northman in it. Is the main
okay. Sure.
What? Oh, it's going to bug me now. What the name of that Cronenberg film is now? Right, hang on, Jack. I'm going to have to Google it now because normally because I'm on my phone I can't do it, but because I'm on the laptop I can. Brian, if anybody's watching, put it in the comments because I can't remember. Cronenberg film. Possessor. There we go.
Oh, I know the cover you're talking about now. I've seen that cover.
Yellow with like this, trying to...
Yeah.
Yes, there we go. Oh, Scotty's here. He just said, have a good stream, just up to Jack. Spread the love. Or if anybody's watching this, I'm going to have a bit self-promotion here. Give this live stream a thumbs up, not a thumbs down.
No.
Because if you're watching it, you must want to. And you know, just for Jack's sake, he's 19, he's a grown lad, he needs the thumbs up, okay? Yeah. You know, when you're 19, you can grow a better beard than me, and I'm 44. This is why we're going to fall out. Right, what else we got here? Hogan, Volstage, and Fangio. Oh, that's the name of the ones out of...
Okay.
Name of Bobby. Do you think that Doctor Strange still remembers Peter Parker after No Way Home?
No.
I think he knows Spider-Man's there, and Spider-Man exists, but his identity...
Yeah. I agree.
Will be different.
Yeah.
Do you think we will get Hulk back as his angry self again? Or No, of course not. Because it's been toned down. It's a bit like Thor. Thor's is like, I'm Thor, I'm going to kill everybody too. Look at me, I'm fat.
Yeah. That is...
You know, they made a comedy character out of Thor, and they've turned... It's almost like, you know what, we can't be asked to keep changing them back and forth. We'll just have them like that. Saves in a bit of CG. That'll do us.
It worked in Ragnarok because even though it was still a comedy film, he was still badass.
Yeah.
Whereas Love and Thunder, he was completely the comic relief in that film.
Which is funny because they're both by the same director.
Yeah.
which
You
is
want?
I didn't mind Love and Thunder. I could be wrong here. Sorry, I could upset a few people, but I didn't mind the goats.
Oh, yeah, you've just upset me. They're so
Okay.
annoying.
Do I actually have? I don't have that video on here, do I? No, I've got it on my phone. That one go whatever what he's doing. Don't have that on here.
I didn't hate the film, but it's low down in my Marvel ranking.
I still need to rewatch Eternals, since I bought it.
I wouldn't put yourself through that one again. Not gonna lie.
I don't know. It seemed like a lot happened, but at the same time, nothing happened.
Yeah, that is totally how I felt about it.
But I still need to. To be fair, I need to watch all of them. Like Black Widow, I need to rewatch Shang-Chi, Eternals. Now you see, Multiverse Madness. I think I could be wrong here. I could be reading the wrong things, but I thought that got a bad rep. But I thoroughly enjoyed it.
I really enjoyed Multiverse of Madness. It got kind of mixed reviews, I think. A lot of people were hating on it, and a lot of people were loving it. It was kind of you either hated it or loved it kind of thing.
I was watching it with my mate when we went to see it when it came out, and there's a bit when Wanda's having these visions, or she's trying to go back to see her kids in the other universe, and it's like the camera goes from like behind the stairs and it goes round, and
Yeah.
I told my mate, I was like, you can tell Sam Raimi's directing this. He's
Yeah.
like, no. Just like, doesn't matter. But yeah, you could certain things you could tell that he directed it.
Yeah.
One, obviously, those kind of shots. Two, Bruce Campbell's in it.
Yeah.
And three, the thing with the eye at the end, I was just like, oh. And then you've got the thing with Charlie Theron coming on and just like, I don't know. It's like they're like introducing all these characters. Because obviously, at the first lot we had was there's Iron Man has a film, there's Thor has a film, there's Incredible Hulk has a film, there's Guardians, they have a film, there's Spider-Man has a film, there's Captain America has a film, there's the Avengers, let's put them all together. Whereas this one, it's almost like we're not going to do it like an intro for that one. We're just going to go high post-credit scene. This is your new character.
Yeah.
I'm not feeling that. But you're right, though. As we said at the beginning, it seems quantity over quality.
Oh, yeah, 100%. And I even think Marvel are kind of catching themselves now and going, yeah, we're putting out too much stuff. Because I think they've stopped. I think there was originally 4 shows coming out this year and they've limited it to 2 or something like that.
Because it was going to be, I can't even remember. You know what it is? There's that many, you can't even remember.
Exactly, yeah.
Because Loki season 2,
yeah,
I think is coming out, and then
it's the one with Samuel Jackson's back in it.
The Secret Wars, is it?
That's it. Secret Invasion.
That's right. Yeah.
But I think another 2 shows meant to be coming out this year, and they've totally just postponed them because they've been getting complaints that it's quantity over quality.
Even Quantumania, again, got a bad rep, but I enjoyed it because it's given you a villain. And I liked it how it's given you a villain, and this villain looks like he's going to be worse than Thanos. And that's what I liked about it, because we had the introduction of him in Loki, or one iteration of him, and then we had another iteration of him in Quantum, and obviously then we've got numerous galaxies and universes versions of him. So that then obviously that's the best thing about Marvel. They've clearly thought, oh, we've killed off Iron Man. Shit. Hey guys, have you heard of the multiverse? Does that mean we can bring him back? Possibly.
Yeah.
Tell me more.
Yeah.
Because there was loads of rumours that Tom Cruise was going to be in Doctor Strange as Iron Man, wasn't there?
Yeah, I remember hearing that.
But I thoroughly thought, I mean, I know it won't happen, but John Krasinski's in the Fantastic Four was great. Apart from it was shit with regards to anything you do against Wanda. I thought I enjoyed it, and I liked Captain Carter as well, which was nice.
Yeah.
And the fact that Professor X, well, obviously, he didn't last very long, but when he came out and he had in the yellow, like off the X from the cartoon series, and had like, I liked that bit. I thoroughly enjoyed it. I thought it was really good.
I think apart from Spider-Man, it's probably my favorite out of Phase 4.
I think my favorite of the Phase. See, I did really, really enjoy Hawkeye,
Okay.
and I did enjoy Falcon and the Winter Soldier.
Did you like WandaVision?
No,
I loved WandaVision.
it's funny enough because my mate, I used to go to cinema with him all the time to see all the Marvels leading up. There was like 3 of all together used to go, and but he does night shift, so whenever I want to go, he's like, I'm in bed, I can't go. I'm just like, okay, fair enough. So he's missed out. Now, luckily for him, like yourself, we have a large, vast collection of Marvel films. So if he's like, have you got this? I'm like, there you go. So about, I was like, oh, have you seen Doctor Strange? He's like, I'm like, why am I asked this question? Of course you haven't, because he didn't go with me. You need to watch WandaVision first. And so, because you can't just go into it now, because you'll be like, well, what's the backstory? You need that backstory. Yeah. So that's why I went on WandaVision. I don't know. It just seemed to drag on, and I was just like, where are they going with this? I'll tell you what. The funny thing is, right? I preferred Moon Knight to WandaVision.
Okay.
But I didn't know what the hell was going on in Moon Knight. That's how much I'm not a big fan of WandaVision. I think it's also probably I'm not interested in that character. I think for me it's very much if a character comes out like Black Panther, I wasn't involved with, wasn't bothered about that character, so I didn't go to the cinema to see that character's film. I'll wait till it comes out and I'll watch it. I did the same with Wakanda Forever. I'm not that bothered. I'll watch it on Disney Plus, which I did. You know, if it was like I'm a fan of the Ant-Man character, so I went to see that. Doctor Strange, went to see that. Eternals, did nothing about them. I'll wait to see that on streaming.
Yep.
So I think for me, with WandaVision as well, there's like it all depends on the character. And like, you know, because we know that Vision died, and it's almost like, oh, they've got to bring him back in. You know, like I said earlier on, you know, they can't just have her, and then we've got new films down the line, and then you've got the character who is the enemy in it. We haven't heard from her since, but isn't she getting her own TV show?
She is, yeah.
See, but that should have been sooner.
Yeah, I agree.
It's a bit like the Mandalorian. All right, now you got the Book of Boba Fett. There's your breaker, and then we're back at the Mando, so you can have Boba Fett jumping in anytime you want.
Yeah.
Had it done that, you know, there's WandaVision, and then here's this wifey, or maybe just after multiverse or something like that. So you've got that sort of follows on, but
they're
either doing it too quickly or they're not doing it quick enough.
Yeah, they seem to be releasing them in a random order. There doesn't seem to be a plan, which worries me.
It's almost like we filmed it. Yep, get it out.
Yeah.
You know, I just, I honestly, I have not. I feel bad because I haven't seen She-Hulk. Well, not bad because I didn't like it. I watched about 4 episodes of She-Hulk and I went, this is shit.
You done better than me. I've watched 2.
I was just because I'm working. Obviously, I'm here and I've got a TV here. So when it's my lunch hour, I just move to the sofa. Right, great Wednesdays. Put Mando on. That's my lunch hour sorted. Yep. You know. So when the new Marvel show come on, right, that's me out. But with She-Hulk, I still need to watch. Kind of swap into Star Wars. I still need to watch Andor. I haven't watched, and I've watched about 2 episodes of Andor.
Yeah, I've watched the first 2 episodes as well. I'm just like starting to watch it, and first 2 episodes were good. And I heard it gets better, so I do need to watch that one.
See, because me personally, I'm a big fan of Andor because I absolutely adore Rogue One. Rogue One, although Empire is really good, I think Rogue One is just that 0.0001% a little bit better. Okay. But then I could be another day and I could flip the other way around. But I think when Rogue One came out, because we'd had Force Awakens first, hadn't we? And then we had Rogue One.
Yeah.
I went to see Rogue One, I think it must have been about 4 or 5 times at the cinema. Because I went on my own, and then my mate wanted to come, so I went with him. And he said, I fancy watching it again. I goes, well, I'll come with you. It must have been 4 times in. And then as soon as it came out, like I said earlier on, I pre-ordered it, and I watched it again. But now, I've overdone it, so I don't want to watch it for a long, long time now.
Yeah.
But yeah, Rogue One is the only film. Maybe Force, did I? I think I enjoyed Force Awakens, but the death in it got spoiled by somebody on Instagram, so I kind of knew it was coming.
Yeah.
But I think I saw Force Awakens one less time. I saw Force about 4 times, 3 times.
Yeah.
But I just love Rogue One. I know everyone's favorite is Empire, and I love Empire. And to be fair, it is really my favorite Star Wars. But God, I feel like I'm going to explode here. But I really, really, I was even going to call my daughter Jay. You know, like not Jay.
Jen.
Jin. That's right.
Yeah.
Because I actually said when my daughter was going to be what, I said I wanted to call it Ray, and I wanted to call her Jin, and then Robinson. And she went great. I was like, right. She goes, so our daughter's going to be called Raging Robinson. I was like, oh yeah, okay. But I did want to call her Jin, like Jyn, because I love the film so much.
Yeah.
But the wife completely vetoed that, and then we called her Emily. So, which isn't even, although it is a film.
Yeah.
I haven't seen that film. It's just a French version of the wife's middle name. But yeah, going up. But yeah, I love Rogue One.
Rogue One's a great film, to be fair. It's really
because I'm sure before we moved house, I had a Rogue One poster. I'm sure the one where there's a Death Star and there's a sand, and you see the two of the both running towards each other poster.
Okay, yeah.
I'm sure, unless I've got dementia or Alzheimer's, had that poster. But we moved house, and I cannot find that poster anywhere. The only ones I've got are Force Awakens, Empire, and James's favourite Rise of Skywalker. Because I enjoyed Rise of Skywalker, and if you're watching this movie, Bug, I enjoyed it.
So did I. I liked The Rise of Skywalker.
Did you see what I did when I went on his stream for the first time or second time? Because I always remember, when you have iconic moments of live streams, I'd like to think that I produced one. I got my poster, which was in a frame at the time, but I swapped them, so it's not there at the minute. It's under the desk here. And I put that poster of Rise of Skywalker, I stood it up here, and I got my Rise of Skywalker t-shirt on. And so he came on, and I went live, and I went, hi, and he went, you bastard. So, yeah. I haven't done it since. It's like when I had Durant on, Durant Sinner on, I thought, this is, at the time, it was a big name as such, because he's got loads of followers and all that. I'll wear a shirt and tie and a waistcoat, and I did. So then when I got somebody else from America on, like, he didn't wear a waistcoat, I was like, I couldn't do it, man. I hate wearing them at the best of times. I don't want to wear them all the time.
Yeah.
So don't you think that next time you're on, you're going to get this? I mean, you're lucky I've actually covered my Newcastle shirt up, to be fair. Yeah. Right, anyway, where are we? Where are the comments? Where are the comments? It's all Matthew, a Marvel fan, unless they're the one and the same person. But yeah, if there's 40 people watching and you want a question other than Marvel, please do. Actually, let's address it. We're 58 minutes into the stream.
Okay.
So, here's how I understand it from your point of view.
Yep.
You're wrong. No, I'm joking. You looked at it on an entertainment perspective.
I did.
You found Resurrection a more entertaining watch than Alien 3.
Yep.
No, you didn't watch Alien 3 director's cut. You just watched the theatrical cut, yeah?
Yeah.
Because when James did his, this was ages ago. He's just like, I want people to tell me what they think are underrated movies, and I said Alien 3 director's cut doesn't get as much love as it should get. Because if I get this right, when an Alien 3, the face hugger's on a dog, is that right?
Oh, I think so. Yeah.
Because in the second one, in the director's cut, it's on a cow. I don't know why.
Okay.
Because I think it works better with a dog. Because I believe, and this is where you probably go, okay, you already know this, so that's fine. The alien, when it's the xenomorph, when it comes out, inherits the DNA from what it's come out from.
Okay.
So an alien, it's very humanoid because it's from a human, obviously.
Yep.
In Aliens, from LV-426, with all the colonists, it's very human.
Yep.
In Alien 3, it came from a dog, which is why it can go up on walls and run faster. Because it's more on all fours, and that's why it's more of a animal than a humanoid as such. Now I could be wrong with that look into it, but I liked that about it. I also, with regards to Alien 3, I liked how it kind of took back the isolation of Alien. Whereas with Aliens, you had the Marine Corps, you had Ripley, you had the Bishop, you had all that kind of stuff, and they could fight back. Whereas obviously in Alien, although you had the crew of the Nostromo, all he had was Dallas with the flamethrower, which got wiped out when he first had the encounter with the alien, so they didn't really have anything since then. And at the same time, you then had Ash, who went absolutely mental and tried to stuff porn mags down Ripley's mouth. So bringing that isolation back, I enjoyed that. And I also enjoy the fact that she's coming into a male-dominated place to be the female with all rapists and murderers, but still comes across like, I can take care of myself, and I like that. I thought Charles Dance was great in it.
Yeah.
So I like that. Then we go to, then this is my personal view, then we go to Alien Resurrection, and it's like a comic book.
Yeah.
You've got Brad Dourif in there, who tries to kiss an alien for some reason, and then you've got this bit at the end where you say, "Oh, look at him, it's a boy. Oh, that's it." And I'm just like, what, you know? And then, it was, I don't know. And then the guy in the wheelchair annoyed me, not because he's disabled, but just because he annoyed me. And then the guy who kept coming with him and had a chest burster in him, he got annoying. It just seemed to be, although I like both of them, it seemed to be Ghostbusters 2 to Ghostbusters. Because obviously Ghostbusters 84 came out, and then they made the real Ghostbusters, the TV show, and they wanted to get people to watch Ghostbusters 2, so they made the ghosts more cartoony, which is why the guys in that are more, obviously on the first one you've got zombie taxi drives and everything, but the second one is more cartoony because of that. I don't know, I just think Alien Resurrection was just shit. Is this
my main problem with Alien 3 was, and I don't know how much the director's cut rectifies this stuff, but they expect you to like the supporting cast, even though they've established them to be all murderers and rapists. I just can't get behind that at all. I'm watching it, I'm like, I don't like any of these people, yet the film really wants me to get on board with them and want them to like survive this, and I'm not behind that at all.
Okay, I get that. I remember watching it, and Charles S. Dutton, isn't it? That guy? The glasses?
Yeah.
And one of the guys, he's doing his little speech, and this guy sitting in the tube, I'm like, he's out of Casualty. And I always remember that when I watched it first, I'm like, he's out of Casualty. But I get what you mean, because obviously they're like, number 5 door shut, you're all right, and all that, and then he gets killed, and just like, I'm supposed to feel sympathy for him, but I don't.
Yeah, and I think the CGI is atrocious in places.
But you got to remember, this is what, 92?
Yeah, that is true, but it does draw you out of it a little bit.
It's like when I watch, kind of going to a different film, when I watched Indiana Jones and the Crystal Skull,
the
very, very beginning scene where they're outside the hangar, and you can so tell that's a CG background, because it's such a crisp picture, you can tell it's, because I don't know, but every time I watch it, I'm just like, oh, and the fucking mole and that as well. Let's not go on about the mole. But yeah, I watch that, and that's every time I watch it at the very, very beginning. Now, I don't mind Crystal Skull. It's not the best Indiana Jones. God, no, of course it's not. But I enjoy it. You know? So, although of the 4, I know there's going to be a 5th, but of the 4, that's the weakest one of them.
Yeah.
But I don't dislike it. Whereas with Alien Resurrection, I just wish it was never... I'll put Alien Resurrection in the same category of the all-female Ghostbusters cast, where those 2 films should never be made. Everyone should have a Doctor Strange, you're going to forget these things ever happened, and they should be removed from existence of time and space.
Yeah. Both films I thought were nothing on the original 2. I thought the original 2 were fantastic movies. And then Alien 3, it was definitely that supporting cast. I just couldn't get behind it at all. And I just thought it dragged on a bit, and I just had
We didn't want it director's cut because it's on longer.
The
director's cut's on longer.
Okay.
But I think, honestly, though, if you give it a couple of years, and then revisit it, but watch a director's cut this time, and then if we're still in touch and we're still doing YouTube, but let me know, and then we can revisit it. or we could do a live stream of where we're watching it. I don't know. But then again, I don't think I'll ever have the fucking time to do that. Let's be honest, Jack. It's not going to happen.
Yeah.
But no. See, my thing as well is like Alien and Aliens, for me, is a bit like Terminator and Terminator 2. I love them both.
Yeah.
Everyone would say Alien over Aliens, but I'm like, I like Aliens a little bit more, probably because I saw it first.
Yeah.
And then Terminator 2 and the Terminator, although also T2 before I saw the Terminator, I edging more towards the Terminator than Terminator 2. Although I think all 4 films are awesome, but I just have this, although I really like Alien, and every time I watch Alien, I go, fucking hell, I forget how good that is.
Yeah.
I still prefer Aliens.
Okay. I think I prefer Alien slightly, but they're both almost neck and neck for me. They're really good films.
I just think it's just... I just love... I mean, I needs to have a 4K release. You know?
Oh, yeah.
Speaking of which, have you... just on the subject matter of T2 and Aliens, have you seen The Abyss by James Cameron?
I haven't.
You need to watch that.
Okay.
Because obviously it hasn't had a Blu-ray release. It hasn't had a 4K release. Now, I do have a Blu-ray copy of it.
Yep.
Through sources. Not HP or, Heinz and all that. But I got that. Funny enough, how I would get things and you wait. The day I got that on the post, I put it on. It was funny enough, the wife went out that night. I thought, right, so the kids were in bed. I put it on downstairs in the 4K telly. And obviously it'll upscale it. And it looks superb.
Okay.
Absolutely. And it was the director's cut as well, so it was on even longer. But every time I watch it, again, it's The Abyss that I watch, and I go, I forget how good that film is. So when people, if you're watching groups like this, always say, what needs Blu-ray release? Everybody will say The Abyss.
Yeah.
But the problem is, if you buy the DVD on it, it's the box picture.
Sucks. Yeah.
Whereas with the Blu-ray one, if I had a spare copy of the Blu-ray one, I would happily send it to you to watch and enjoy and do a review of. Yeah. But I don't, and you're definitely not getting my copy. Just saying. But if it ever comes out on Blu-ray, I strongly recommend that you pick it up and watch it, because
I love James Cameron, so I'll definitely pick that up if it comes out.
Even the new Avatar.
Yeah. Did you not like the new Avatar? What?
I said this for the first one when I came out. Now the missus doesn't go to the cinema very well. She doesn't do films. Okay. She doesn't like the same type of music as me. Doesn't watch films. How the hell we got fucking married? I've got no idea. Yeah. But it was New Year's. I remember, was it New Year's Day? Yeah, New Year's Day. We drove up from Darlington back up to the Metro Centre to see the first one, because I remember, because of snow and everything. And we sat there and we watched the first one. And I came away from that, and I thought it was kind of a story more or less of Pocahontas-ish. Mm-hmm. Role reversal with Jake Sully. And then my overall review was, if the film was as good as it looked, it would be superb. But it's not as good as it looked. Yep. And then when I went to see Avatar: The Way Over Water, so that day it came out, we went up there, me and my mate drove to the Metro Centre again, 3D IMAX, has to do it because that's the kind of film you need to see in 3D IMAX.
Yeah.
Again, I came out and I thought, it got boring in parts, it was a bit slow, there was a lot of filler. But again, I came out and I went, you know what? The first Avatar in 3D looked superb. Mm-hmm. The second one looked even better. Mm-hmm. But I feel like watching them, and Cameron's a good director, because obviously he doesn't do that many films now. When he's just doing Avatar at the minute, really, isn't he?
Yeah.
I just feel like put more into the story side of it, because I thought Avatar was on for too long.
Yeah.
And it felt like it was on for too long, and there was a lot of that bit where they were diving and playing with the whales and stuff. I thought you could have edited that. You didn't really need that,
Yeah, no, that's fair. I thought it did drag a little, but I really got sucked into the story. I don't really know what done it for me, because I'd never seen the first one, and it was getting a re-release in the cinema, so I went to see that, and I thought the first one was good, but I think I preferred the second one.
I see. Now, if I had a choice, I prefer the first one.
Yeah.
I think more of a nostalgic point of view because that was one of the first proper ones 3D that made me go, "Ooh,
Yeah,
that's good 3D."
yeah,
My only, and I say this in other streams as well, my concern with 3D because I love having my 3D TV because I remember when I went to get it, the wife had authorized it. I rang up JB Hi, not JB Hi-Fi, when it was. I rang up and I went, "Have you got this in stock?" "Yeah, great. Can you pre-order it? Can you keep it for us? I'll be there in a minute." "Yeah, okay." We were in Aldi shopping, and then we came home, dropped it off, and rang my mate and goes, "I'm going to Middlesbrough. I'm going to pick this up. Do you want to come?" He's like, "Yeah." And we're going down the motorway. I remember him going, "How fast are you going, Paul? Are you going the speed limit?" And I was like, "Yeah." Uh, and then, because I always said, "I've never seen you move so quick in your life when you want to go back to the car to get that." But anyway, so I love having my 3D telly. It hasn't broken, touch wood. And for me, if you're going to have a 3D telly, and they get not as much now, but you get 3D films that get released,
yeah.
release them full screen. I don't see the point of having a widescreen 235 by 1. It is 235 by 1, isn't it? I think.
Yes, I think so.
Yeah. Get rid of the black bars at the top and bottom.
Yeah,
Right. Now, Avatar gets rid of that, so you've got the full picture.
yeah,
Great. The only other film in 3D that's blown me away is Gravity with George Clooney and
okay,
Sandra Bullock.
yeah,
That was a film I thought I really. So I drove again up to the Metro Centre. I went to see that on the IMAX. Now the film's great, but the 3D is superb in that. But both of them matched. They were both good. So when that came out, I was like, right, I've got to pre-order that. So I pre-ordered it, got the 3D steelbook and all that. But it's Letterboxd. I'm just like, oh, do it full screen, man.
yeah,
But yeah, 3D isn't that good on that either. But with Avatar, the two best 3D. I mean, I'm trying to do this, just going off on a tangent here. The two best 3D pictures of movies that I own are Avatar, obviously,
yep.
or My Bloody Valentine, the remake,
Okay,
with the mayonnaise hat and everything. That is probably one of, although the film is not that good, but it's enjoyable. Like I said about Fantasy Island earlier on, and I
yeah,
enjoyed those kind of Blumhouse kind of films. I enjoyed it, and it has got oh no, and Piranha 3D is another one.
okay.
Not because it's got Kelly Brook in it, and I'm a massive fan of Kelly Brook. Nothing to do with that. And she's naked in it, and she's swimming naked. Nothing at all to do with that. But I'll tell you a story about that. Me and two of my mates went to see Piranha 3D in the cinema.
Yeah,
We're about 4 rows from the front. Probably good. I don't know why. So we're sitting there like this, watching it in 3D, and it comes up to the scene where Kelly Brook and this other lass are swimming underwater naked, and it's in 3D. So it's like right here. My mate goes, I'm like, yeah. He goes, this is the best film I've ever seen. I'm like, I know. So yeah, Piranha 3D, not Gravity, Piranha 3D, My Bloody Valentine, Avatar are the only 3D films I think that really used 3D home experience.
yeah.
But yes, I'm babbling. Sorry, I'm going off on a tangent. But yes,
Right.
Avatar 2 wasn't a fan. Will I get it? Probably won't get the 4K. Probably will get 3D if it's full screen,
Yeah,
and then
sure.
rewatch it. Yeah, so you go. All the comments are coming in are Marvel ones. We have got one from Tony moves more. Tony over in Boston, Massachusetts, but that's not even
Okay.
not thing. Right, here we go. Right. Can't stand Thor now. I used to like Thor Love and Thunder. I guess it now a one-time watch for me. I really enjoyed it, but I don't understand how Hercules, played by that guy out of Ted Lasso, and Derek,
Yep.
doesn't look to me like a bad guy.
Yeah, I get what you mean.
But yeah, I could be wrong.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's a spoiler, Barry. I've just realised that's a spoiler. So if anybody hasn't seen it, just ignore that comment. Yeah. Okay. Spider-Man 2 is the best at the Tobey Maguire Spider-Man films, the best film. I disagree. Spider-Man 1 for me because it's the origin. Like I said ages ago within the conversation, the first one's always the best. I
Yeah.
still think the first one for me.
No, 2 for me. A way out. I love 2 so much. It's such a special film to me.
I remember when it coming out, and I watched it, I thought, fucking hell, it's really, really good. Really good film. Well, not really good. It's not like an Oscar winner or whatever, but it was really good. And I can see why people like it. But I think don't know. I think because it came out, took the shine off how good the first one was. And
Yeah,
I really enjoyed the first one. But yeah,
that's
but
the
each to their own.
first one.
That's all right.
Really good. It's 3 where the problems start to come in, but yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. And to be fair, everyone is entitled to the different opinions on it. I mean, you like Alien Resurrection, and you're still on the stream for an hour and 15 minutes, so we're doing well there.
Yeah.
So that's fine. We've got here Marvel. It feels like they overuse Guns N' Roses songs, but only a few songs fitted. I love I listen to Immigrant Song all the time now because of Thor. Now,
Yeah.
also, my dad loves Led Zeppelin, so obviously I brought up in it because I didn't really listen to it. But I listen to Led Zeppelin now because I'm matured, so I'm more into music and stuff now.
Yeah.
But I love the Immigrant Song because it was in School of Rock first, kind of in a movies thing, and then obviously Taika Waititi put it in for this one.
Yeah.
But yes, every time I hear Immigrant Song now, I think of the bridge scene out of Thor Ragnarok every time.
Yeah.
Played Immigrant Songs twice, start of the film, and at the end, Thor Ragnarok is much better than Thor. I agree with that. I like both of them, but I do like because it shows Thor's weakness that he has his eye taken off, which is and he gets rid of his long hair, which really pissed me off.
Yeah. I love Ragnarok. I think it's in my top 10 MCU films. Love and Thunder's low down for me. It's still not a bad film by any means, but it's low down for me.
It was still weird watching at the cinema, and we were going through like a Willy Wonka scene, and I was like, what's going on with the Willy Wonka scene? I don't get that. And Jeff Goldblum being Jeff Goldblum as well.
Yeah. I love Ragnarok. It's a great film.
Speaking of which, because I've just looked up there and saw the poster, have you watched The Last of Us yet?
No.
Right. Hang on a minute. Tell me more. Why not?
Just not got round to it.
Okay, that's fine. Okay, I'll put you back then. Have you played the games, though?
I don't own a PlayStation.
Oh, yeah, because the PlayStation exclusive, aren't they?
Yeah. It's the only reason that I want a PlayStation is to play them.
But, you're not on the dark side of an Xbox, have you?
Xbox player, yeah.
Next you're going to tell me you watched Alien Resurrection through the Xbox.
Yeah.
Jack, we're going to fall out. We've only just met. We're going to fall out. It's like these people out there. I was like, you don't own an iPhone? No, I'm on Android. You what? You got an iPhone though, yeah?
Yeah.
That's fine. We're fine.
I got an iPhone. I can't use Android.
I always remember that joke, Age and Age. This is like a couple of years back. It'll be like, how do you know if somebody's got an iPhone? Because they'll tell you.
Yeah.
Yeah, so yeah. What else put in here? Got Marvel fan and Matt really going for it here. Favorite scene out of Love and Thunder is when Thor has that big robe that gets pulled out and the Welcome to the Jungle song playing. Oh, so you liked it when Thor got naked, is what you're trying to say. And he had the Loki tattoo on his back. Is that okay? That's fine. Floats board. Over to the jokes bit. Yeah, I agree with that.
Yeah, I agree.
Loki wasn't in Thor Love and Thunder. Big letdown. All shows flashbacks. Yeah, but it's building up, isn't it? They're going to put it in there.
Yeah.
Some people were saying on Spider-Man No Way, on Spider-Man No Hunt, Doc Ock was taken and he was in the river, but when he had Spider-Man, it's all. I hear this is like he got taken just as he was about to fall into the river, and then so when he goes back, he's literally going to die because he's going to get. I don't really care. I enjoy the film. I don't want to look into it. No disrespect to Matt. That's fine.
I agree.
But don't look too deeply into it because if it meant to be that, they'll do a follow-up movie and then they'll tell you basically.
Yeah, 100%.
We've got Rehan. Good old Rehan. Quick question: can I please be a guest in your box? In my box? Oh, do you want to come on, Rehan? Sorry, I didn't.
Strange way of putting it, but okay.
Politely, Rehan. No, because it's just me and Jack today. If later down the line, and I'm not saying it's going to happen, I may have you on, but all due respect, thank you. And he's put, you are awesome, mate. I appreciate that. But I've got loads of guests lined up. Okay. But yes, so sorry. if that disappoints people. But yeah, I mean, right, what else are we going to talk about? I'm trying to think now, because we've got 10 minutes left.
Yep.
10-minute countdown. Is there anything, I don't know, I'm going to put you on the spot here, Jack.
Okay.
I wanted, hang on. Rehan, don't have to apologise, fella. Don't have to apologise. You've asked, you've got an answer, that's it, we're fine. You've only just met me.
Yeah.
God knows how long, if at all, you've been watching any of my videos or my movies or myself. But have you got anything to ask me?
Oh.
But if you honestly haven't, then just say no, and I will not be offended. And if you go, to be honest, Paul, this is the first time I met you, and I'll be honest, I haven't watched any fucking videos till he sent me a message, so I'm not really bothered. I wouldn't mind, because I don't expect people to watch me. I'm not this big person like has thousands of, whatever. But yes.
If we talk about music a little bit, who's your favorite like artists in terms of music? What kind of music do you listen to?
I'm a 90s kid.
Okay.
So everything I listen to is indie.
Okay.
So, funny enough, I didn't really get into music, I think, till I was late. I went from and this is when it first came out, so it shows my age, when Two Unlimited and Get Ready for This and The Twilight Zone and that kind of thing came out. I really enjoyed that.
Yep.
But on the flip side, I really like the Transformers the movie soundtrack. And then I really got into Guns N' Roses, really into Guns N' Roses. And then I got into a bit of Bon Jovi, which I was slightly embarrassed about. But I love the song Keep the Faith. To this day, I love the song Keep the Faith by Bon Jovi. And then I think it just kind of went like that. And I think I remember going around to a friend's house. Oh, no, I was friends with his sister. And then he started playing Football Manager. And then I started playing Football Manager with him. So we used to go around his. And he put on Definitely Maybe and Supergrass. And then I got into that. So that's how it got me into the indie scene. And then from that, it was Blur, Cast, Blue Tones, British kind of independent indie kind of songs.
Yeah.
And artists. And then I guess it just kind of honed like this, and it just went to Oasis. So my favourite artist is Noel Gallagher, but my favourite band ever is Oasis. So I did a video on all my Oasis collection. The first ever away band I went to see was Oasis in 1996 in Loch Lomond, which was the week before Nebworth, I believe.
Yep.
So I went all the way up to Scotland. I remember because on the way back I was asleep and the thing and the bus driver got lost, and then I had to go around about 3 times. You think everybody was asleep, but I was awake on the way back because I remember walking out of the gig at Loch Lomond, and there was supposed to be lights attached to trees to kind of guide you.
Yeah.
And the lights had failed, so I just remember
trying
to run back to the bus and just through a forest in complete darkness. But it's all been Oasis, and then because of me getting into Oasis, and I believe it was this is how, say I'm getting all technical now. I believe it was the Cigarettes and Alcohol single had the B-side of when they played I Am the Walrus, and I was playing that, and my dad went, "Oh, here is my Beatles Blue album. Have a listen to this." And this is obviously the original cassette. I put the cassette in, played it a few times, enjoyed it, and then my tape player chewed it. So I remember about 5 years later, we were in Canada, and I picked it up and I bought my dad the CD to replace it.
Yeah.
But that got me into the Beatles, and then from the Beatles I got into John Lennon. Now I know with regards to Movie Bug, he's very much like a McCartney Harrison kind of fan, and we've had this discussion with him. I'm more a John Lennon, that kind of route. But I really enjoy the Beatles, Oasis at the minute, and it sounds so. What's the word I can look for? Can't even think of it. I'm getting the Sam Fender. And it's almost like, oh well, you have to because you're from New York. But it's funny because Sam Fender is one of those. I'm just like, I wasn't thinking, should I be getting into him? Is he not like a teen heartthrob? Is that the kind of image that he is, kind of thing? And then I went up to see my mate, and me and my mate were like, he'll joke because of but we were in a kind of a band.
Yeah.
We were practicing in his garage, on my garage age, when we were 15, 16, 17 or whatever it was. And he was better at the guitar than me because he was left-handed and he learned to do it. And then I went to his weekend before last when I went up and I dropped the kids off at my mum's and I said, I'll pop in because all my mates still live back home. So anyway, I popped into him and he's like, "Oh, what, do you recognise this?" I went, "Yeah, it's Sam Fender." He's like, "Yeah." He goes, "Oh, it's really good." I'm just like, "You like stuff like the Twilight Singers and other stuff?" And I didn't expect. He goes, "Oh no, it's really good." I was just like, and it was almost like in my head, I went, "Click. If my mate thinks it's all right and he's a bit of a music snob, I better start listening." So yeah, so I started listening to Sam Fender, but from a band solo perspective, I just really like Richard Ashcroft.
Okay.
Of the Verve and that kind of thing. I'm not a big fan of the Verve, but all his solo stuff, even our first dance, me and the Wife's Wedding, was Richard Ashcroft.
Yep.
So everything. I mean, that's why I've got me. I've got my guitar back here.
Yeah.
That's how I got me into playing the guitar, was because of Oasis. All these people are like, "Can you play this?" I'm like, "No." "Play this?" "No." "Do you know Oasis?" "Yes, I do." "Do you know anything other than Oasis?" I'm like, "No."
Yeah.
But even then, I used to play all the time at uni, but now I hardly play anymore now. It's there. It's almost like a thing. So when people come and go, "Do you play the guitar?" And I go, "Badly." But yes. So yeah, that's my kind of music I'm into as such as, because I pre-ordered the Noel Gallagher new album as well, because it comes with a free pre-printed song lyric that he wrote. Because I've got one here I got off his last album. Don't follow off his last album. So it's like a lyric sheet.
Oh, okay, cool.
But it's pre-printed.
Yeah.
But he's done another one for his new album as well. So this is well, you can read this, but this is The Man Who Built the Moon, which is the name of the last album. It's like, it's not properly signed, but it's like a scanned copy of it. So yeah, so they're doing that. So I pre-ordered that.
Cool.
So there you go. So what made you ask about music?
Just curious, because I'm not too into my music. I'm getting more into my music now, because it always seems to be the thing, like, you're into your movies or you're into your music. And I've always been into my movies. And I think just recently I got a vinyl player, so I've been starting to collect vinyls and
Jinx, same.
Yep, just trying to discover a bit more what I like. So I was almost asking for recommendations, I guess.
Oh, okay. Well, I am. God, I feel like in my day, when I was your age, recommendation. Well, it depends what you like.
I'm a big Springsteen fan.
Okay.
I love Bruce Springsteen. I love Elvis. I love Elton John.
Okay.
A few artists thrown at you.
Have you? I'll throw a few band names at you then.
Okay.
The Music.
Don't know them.
Star Sailor.
Nope.
Who else? I tell you, this is one of my claim to fame is I really got into Linkin Park, which isn't really something I expected myself to like. If that makes sense. Because I've gone from Oasis and indie music and stuff like that to then. Because I think one of the lasses at work when I used to, this is God knows, early 2000s. This would have been lent me Hybrid Theory, that debut album, and I was just like, fucking hell, that's really good. And then the second Meteora came out, the second album, and I really enjoyed that. And then they did a tour, and I was in what was called the LPU, which is Linkin Park Underground, like the fan club. Fucking hell, the fan club. Christ, how old are you? Anyway, it got pre-sale tickets, and I got to go to see them at the Manchester MEN.
Yeah.
But because I had that, I got to go behind the scenes first, and I met them all on the Sammy album. Which was
cool.
So I got to meet Chester Bennington, obviously R.I.P. So yeah, so I mean, they're trying to do too much new wave stuff, but I love the first 3 or 4 albums. And it's like, if people look at me, they're like, "Do you like Oasis and that kind of stuff? Why you listen to Linkin Park?" I'm like, I don't know, but it's just I really, really, really enjoyed them. Like with the Arctic Monkeys, I love the Arctic Monkeys. I love the first 3 albums, I think, or 2 albums. I mean, not to be like, I'm not going to go snobby, but I like the Arctic Monkeys before they got famous.
Yeah.
I remember going to Leeds Festival in 2005 and got mates. Right, they're on a smaller stage. I want to go see Arctic Monkeys, and they're like, "Who?" I'm like, "Arctic Monkeys, man." They're like, Arctic Foxes. I'm like, "No, Arctic Monkeys." Never got to see them. And when I did get a chance to see them, it was like one of these Enemy Award tours, and
Yeah.
there was We Are Scientists, Arctic Monkeys, and then Maximo Park were headlining. So Arctic Monkeys were actually bigger than Maximo Park. So I remember it's the first time I've ever got into like the front where everyone was jumping around, and I nearly
Yeah.
lost an arm. It was that fucking intense. But yeah, but then they went shit. It's like monkeys. It's like they've almost like I did like Las Vegas. Have you heard of Las Vegas?
No.
You should know about that because they're from fucking Glasgow.
Never heard of them.
Yeah, they're a Glaswegian band. They've got
Yeah.
there's I forgot the debut album. That's a good debut album, Las Vegas. I'm trying to think something to recommend you.
Well, do you know Lewis Capaldi?
Not personally.
Not personally, but you've heard of him.
Yes.
He's from the same town I was born in. Right.
Okay.
So
do you know him personally?
never met him, but I know people that know him, if that makes sense.
Okay, I got you. It's funny that because I remember this was ages and ages ago. My mate started seeing this lass, and they were getting serious, and then got engaged. And I just moved down here, I think, to Darlington, and then they went back up. We went for a night out in Tynemouth, and then they came later, and I was just like, "Oh, you been?" They're like, "Oh, we've just been seeing at his time his fiance's cousin."
Yep.
Supporting who was it? Not Gladys Knight. Some kind of that kind of black kind of songstress. I've forgotten. Who was it? Anyway, it was like his fiance's cousin to support him. I was like, all right, okay. And then a couple of weeks, a month later, we're around at the mate's house, and he went, "Oh, have you heard Thingy's new song?" I was like, "No." He goes, "Oh, because I took the piss out of him because it sounds like he's going when he's singing. Have a listen." And I was like, "All right." And then I thought nothing of it. And then like I think it was 6 months later, he won Mercury's Music Awards, whatever they do.
Yeah.
So Sam Smith.
Oh, okay.
So then my mate got married.
Yeah.
And then we was somewhere up in Northumberland. And when they get married and all that, and then when you go to do the sign the registry, it takes pictures. Sam was there with his pianist. Not his penis. He was there with his pianist. So he was like, so he was doing all the singing while they were signing the registry and pictures taken.
There you go.
I remember we were just watching it, and then all the like the waitresses and young girls were like coming around looking in the windows.
Yeah.
The night before, because everybody got there night early, they went out in the local town and they went to a karaoke place. And my mate was like, I thought I absolutely nailed Ultravox's Vienna. And he goes, and then you get Sam to come up and he sings a song and he says, "I'm fuming." So yeah, my mate's cousin through marriage is Sam Smith.
Yeah, that's cool. My dad told me a story literally the other night about his friend who used to work in a nightclub in Scotland.
Okay.
Basically, he got really friendly with the guy who ran the nightclub. And basically, if he was looking to book any gigs in the nightclub, he'd get like a track and he would actually give it to my dad's friend to listen to and be like, "What do you think of this? Should I book this guy?" And one day he got a track through from this guy who was unknown at the time, and he listened to it and he went, "Nah, that's shit. Don't book him. That's rubbish." That guy is now Calvin Harris.
Okay.
So missed out in one there.
Yeah. But the thing is though as well, I don't have any claims to fame. My ex-girlfriend, her grandfather was an actor in the 50s and 60s. Okay. And he worked through Ealing Studios.
Yeah.
He was even on This Is Your Life. She showed me his big red book. So he was in a film called Genevieve and Above Us the Waves, I think. Okay. So he was called John Gregson.
Okay.
Funny enough, this is what my mum messaged me the day. She was saying something. I don't know what it was. We were in the car yesterday driving to go to the meal because I had to direct them because they didn't know where they were going. The wife was in the other car to take the kids. I don't know how I got into the subject of it. about my ex-girlfriend. And she went, "Oh, do you know that her dad, used to be used to be a deputy head." I'm like, "Mum, I went out with her for nearly 3 years. I kind of know who you're talking about. You don't have to give me a backstory of it. I probably knew it before you." Anyway, he was on Eggheads, not Eggheads,
Okay.
or something similar to that. I was like,
Yeah.
"All right, yeah." And then his mum is still alive, apparently, in the like late 90s or whatever. So, yeah, but I don't have any claims to fame or anything. Do I? No, I haven't really. I met the music, the band I told you about.
Yeah.
I remember my ex-girlfriend was really into Erasure, so we waited at backstage and she met Erasure. Me and the wife, we like Jimmy Carr, so a few times we've stayed behind and he signed our program for that. Who else did we? That's it. I don't think I've. There used to be a time when I was young, single, or didn't have, children, and I used to go and see loads of bands at like Newcastle University or Northumbria University. And the gig would finish, and you would just wait outside, and obviously they'll come out the door and they get the sign stuff. But I don't know. Fucking hell, it's 10:30 now. This is like half an hour past my bedtime, Jack. So, I'm not. I don't know. I just don't do it anymore.
No,
I'd love. I'd love to meet Noel Gallagher. And the wife's like, you would just shoot your load in your trousers if you met Noel Gallagher. Probably, yeah. It's just, I don't know. I don't know how it would. But I don't think I've met anyone. Walked past Andy Cole when he was walking down the street in Newcastle. When he used to play for Newcastle. And I went, "Oh, it's Andy Cole." And I went, "Yeah, it is." And I was like, "All right." And I just kept walking. But yeah, I haven't met anybody famous other than through. I mean, I spoke to Sam Smith. We were outside after you do the wedding, have a cigar, and he was there. I had a brief conversation about some kind of meal that went on with the thing. I was like, but I've got no interest in speaking to you. You know what I mean? I don't like your music. I'm not going to go, "Oh, Sam, oh," I don't like any of that. I don't like, their music.
Yeah.
See, so yeah. So I've got any questions here? Because we're going to end it in a minute anyway, Jack. I mean, I'm not booting you off, but I've got Cocaine Bear to watch. No, the fight's at the beginning of Love, though, but I do that. When you're free to come on my stream. I didn't know you did a stream really on. Let us know. Lovely button messages. Dr. Octi mentioned No Hill when he was in the tank on the craft. Yeah, I know that bit, yeah. I have a question to ask. Bring your own popcorn. Okay. Which would you choose between Blur and Gorillas? Blur.
I've not got an opinion, not gonna lie.
Because you're a wee Ben. As favourite band, yeah, Blur. Oliver was here, but we're a bit late to the party, pal.
Yeah.
Just kind of like reversal of Die Hard. So, Rehan, before Jack and I go, you can ask your question, but you've got to be a quick fella.
Yeah.
Oh, here we go.
Oh.
Favourite Marvel movie, Jack? Winter Soldier.
No. Close.
Ooh. Civil War.
Yeah, I think Civil War's up there for me. Civil War and Infinity War are the two that are kind of near the top for me.
I think Iron Man.
Yeah.
I say this every time. Yes, every time.
Really good film.
It's the Iron Man. Started it all. Well, not did it start it all? Was it? Yeah, it was Iron Man. Then it was Incredible Hulk. Yes. Iron Man, and then after that, I do like Winter Soldier.
Yep.
I do like Ragnarok, but I think Infinity and Endgame, they're just. I rate them both equally. I know a lot of people like Infinity more than Endgame, but I just look at them as one long film, and I just like them both.
Yeah. I love the two Guardians of the Galaxy films as well. They're up there.
Yeah. Well, funny enough, when I first went to see Guardians at the cinema, I had no clue what the fuck these guys were. I hadn't even heard of them in the comics. I brought watching TV with Spider-Man and his amazing friends, so Iceman and Firestar and that kind of stuff. I'm like, how the fuck the Guardians of the Galaxy? And I watched it, I was like, all right. I can sense there's a soundtrack coming out for this film, which everyone's going to enjoy. And then I came out thinking, I really enjoyed that. you know, I think that was the first time I was probably introduced to Chris Pratt as well.
Yeah.
And then, you know, yeah, I was just, and obviously that's the first time we got introduced to Thanos as well, I think, wasn't it?
Yeah, and like a starring role, yeah.
Although his CGI wasn't as good as it was in
That is true.
yeah. Yeah. Anyway, favorite Spider-Man movie and villains. You're going to go Spider-Man 2.
Spider-Man 2 or No Way Home?
I'd probably say Spider-Man 1 and No Way Home.
Yep.
I do stream Monday to Sunday. Well, let me know. Drop us an inbox. I'll see if I'm free for you. I can't guarantee anything because Sundays are my only free times.
Yep.
But there we go. Anyway, right. I'm going to end it, Jack. Not because I want to, but because
no worries.
We could speak for another 20 minutes and all that.
We could.
You know, I don't mind. You know, but thank you very much for coming on. I really do appreciate it.
Thank you for having me.
Especially as we've never spoken before. So,
yeah.
I think when you like stuff, you can have that open conversation with somebody. And I don't mind you asking about music because, as far as I'm concerned, this is my stream. If I say to you, "All right, no, Jack, let's not talk about music," I'll tell you. But
yeah.
You know, it's primarily about movies. Talk about movies and things like that. But you know, you asked me about music. I'll be honest. I'll tell you what the crack is with it. And you know, I like all my guitar-based music. But yes, but anyway, thank you for coming on. Appreciate it.
Yep. Thank you.
More than welcome to come on again if we do
Yep.
one later on down the line. But everybody who's watching, I appreciate it as well. Don't forget to subscribe to Jack's channel. It is in the description below. So I expect him to get at least one new follower. Just one.
At least
subscriber from here. But yeah, that's it. So thanks everybody for watching, and we shall see you in 2 weeks. Who have I got in 2 weeks' time? Hang on, let me just check. Who have I got next? Who are on next, Jack? I'm just keeping you on. Who have I got next? So 2 weeks' time is the. What's it in 2 weeks? What's the date in 2 weeks' time? 2nd of April. We have we've got Mr. Blurry Bullet Brit, my good friend Pete, who used to be on the stream. He's like, "Yeah, Magpie, you're not going to have me on." Like, all right, and Pete, you can come back on. So it's going to be like old times as such. So yes, 2 weeks' time will be me and Pete. He'll be farting and burping, which will bring all the audiences in. So yes. Oh, what's this one here? Do you get well, Big Paulie? Oh, okay. Have Jack see my YouTube? Yeah. Go to Rihan. Have check out his thing. There we go. There you go. That's a bit of plug-in for you there, Rihan. But yes. Anyway, Jack and I going. So thanks very much. We'll say goodbye so many times. I'm going now. So bye for now. I'm going to end the broadcast. Thanks, everybody.